Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. I'm Ty Glenn. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. So, no episodes of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast last week because of Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving week. I did say originally I was going to do some episodes for Monday of last week and Monday only, and then no episodes on Wednesday and Friday. But I just thought maybe since it's the week of Thanksgiving, why not give myself the week off? Why not give the Hockey Talk TG podcast a week off, and we'll pick up right back on it next week. And that's what we're doing on this episode of Hockey Talk TG podcast. So this is the first episode of December 2025 of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. So November is in the books. It is in the books. And like I said, hopefully you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully your Thanksgiving went well. What I did for Thanksgiving was got to spend time with family, got to watch the Chicago Bears game against the Philadelphia Eagles. P.S. First place in the NFC North Division, by the way. So let's go with a win over the defending Super Bowl champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. We're 9-3 of the season, and we're first place in the NFC North Division. I don't really watch a lot of football, but when the Chicago Bears are doing well, they're playing good, that's when I start to tune in. But no, I don't really watch a lot of football that much. But when it comes to the Chicago Bears and when they're playing well, that's when I, tune in and, watch it. But yeah, I'm glad they got the win over the Eagles last week. And 9-3 of the season, so bear down. And then also got to see the Ole Miss Rebels football team. Like I said, as you guys know my coverage, I do cover their hockey team, so I try and watch some of their other sports as well. Since I work and cover their hockey team, I saw that they got a win over their arch rivals, the Mississippi State Bulldogs. P.S. Hate to see that Lane Kiffin is leaving Ole Miss to be going to LSU, but it is what it is. So yeah, and then also I got to watch the Blackhawks game against the Predators, and it was a 4-3 loss for the Blackhawks, but at least they won on Sunday against Leo Carlson and Anaheim Ducks. So I'll get to that game in just a second. So yeah, overall I had a really good Thanksgiving. And hopefully you guys had a great Thanksgiving too. Hopefully you got to eat some good food. I know I got to eat some ribs, some sweet potatoes, spaghettis, all that good stuff. So yeah. But as always, do me a favor. If you are new to the podcast, your first time listening or watching the podcast, whatever the case may be, do me a favor. Hit that like, subscribe button. If you are watching the Hockey Talk with TG podcast on YouTube, if you are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, make sure to follow me on there too. We're with you guys every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11:30 a.m. to noon Central Time, 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button. Hit that follow button so you won't miss an episode of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast, and so you can stay up to date on the latest NHL news. And also one more thing, what I did for Thanksgiving was I got to play hockey with some of my friends. I also got to go to public skate as well. So that's also what I did during my Thanksgiving break. So I just wanted to, throw that in there too. If you guys see some of my TikTok or Instagram videos, I do play hockey. Not the fastest skater, though. Not the fastest skater, but I'm a solid, good hockey player overall and just a solid skater. Just enjoy having fun playing with, friends and other buddies I see at the rink and stuff. So it's not about being the best. For me, it's not about being the best. It's just to, go out there and have fun. I started skating when I was I want to say 12. I started skating when I was 12. I don't skate often as I did when I was younger. So, because I was still in school and work and stuff. So I don't skate as often like I did when I was a kid. But I started skating when I was 12, and I already am a really good skater. So and a good hockey player as well. So I played a lot of roller hockey and street hockey growing up as well. So. And then I eventually went on to ice hockey. So That's all I wanted to say about that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started into the NHL news for today. So the Washington Capitals, they hold off the New York Islanders with a 4-1 win on Sunday, and the Capitals move to 15-9-2 of the season. Third in the Metro Division with 32 points, 1 point behind the New Jersey Devils in the Metropolitan Division. So it is tight in there. They won 4 in a row. They won 7 of their last 8 games. They are on fire of late. Tom Wilson, one of the most gritty and physical players I know in hockey. He had a 2-goal performance in this one. He also had an assist for a 3-point night. So finishing the night with 3 points for Tom Wilson, one of the 3 stars of the game. Alexei Prolis had an empty net goal for the Capitals to make it 3-1. And then the great 8, the greatest goal scorer of all time, the greatest goal scorer of hockey, the great 8, Alex Ovechkin. He had an empty net goal for the Capitals to make it 4-1 for the final. His 909th career NHL goal, and the only NHL player to score 900 and plus career goals. And of course, he scored his 909th career NHL goal with 31 seconds left to go. And fun fact, according to StatMuse, Alex Ovechkin has 67 empty net goals in his career. Of course, his obviously latest one coming against the New York Islanders, the team that he scored against to pass Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal record to become the greatest goal scorer in the NHL. His recent empty net goal was against the New York Islanders. He's the all-time leader in empty net goals. He broke Wayne Gretzky's record of 56 empty net goals on February 10th of 2024. Logan Thompson, he made 30 saves on 31 shots faced the net for the Capitals in the win. And for the Islanders, Bo Horvat scored the lone goal for New York, his 15th goal of the season, coming on the power play in the third period to cut it to a 1-goal game. So it was 2-1 at the time before the Capitals scored those 2 empty net goals to seal the deal. And Ilya Sorokin, he made 14 saves on 16 shots faced the net in this one. And the Islanders, not looking so good for them, especially during this homestand. They lost 3 in a row. They're 1-3-1 so far during the 5-game homestand. And they moved to 13-10-3 of the season. On the bright side, they are tied with the Pittsburgh Penguins with 29 points for second place in a wildcard spot. Of course, the Penguins do currently hold the second wildcard spot with a 12-7-5 record, but the Islanders are right there with them with 29 points, and they continue their 7-game homestand against the Tampa Bay Lightning on Tuesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. They'll be playing the Tampa Bay Lightning 3 times in December, so they'll be seeing them a lot these next few games or so. They'll play the Bolts in Tampa on Saturday, December the 6th, so that will be this coming Saturday after their game against them at home on Tuesday. So after the game at home against them on Tuesday, they'll play them again this coming Saturday in Tampa Bay, and then they'll play them at home again on Saturday, December the 13th. So that'll be next Saturday, and that'll be an afternoon game as well at 2:30 p.m. Central Time. So they'll be seeing the Tampa Bay Lightning more than one time in December. So they'll be playing them a lot in December. The Capitals, they continue their 4-game road trip in L.A. against the L.A. Kings on Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. This will be a back-to-back set for them because they will be in San Jose to take on the San Jose Sharks on Wednesday at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time. But still staying over in New York with the Islanders, Kyle Palmieri, he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks for the Islanders with a torn ACL in his left knee. This happened during the Islanders' 4-3 shootout loss to the Philadelphia Flyers last Friday. The injury occurred after he collided awkwardly with Flyers defenseman Jamie Drysdale along the boards near the net, causing him to fall and injure his knee. And after the injury, Kyle Palmieri skated or limped, whatever you want to call it. He skated. He was limping back over to the bench and he managed to steal the puck from a Flyers defenseman, fed a pass that eventually led to a goal, and he had a secondary assist on that. So that was pretty impressive from Kyle Palmieri after, going and limping back to the bench. So really, really impressive. But I can see him missing the entire 2025-26 season since he'll be out 6 to 8 months, and it's now December, so I can see him missing the remainder. I shouldn't even say the entire because he did play games this season, so I shouldn't even say entire. I should say he should miss the remaining 2025-26 NHL season. The Islanders announced that he will undergo surgery to repair the torn ACL, but don't expect. We do wish him a speedy recovery. Let's just say that. We do wish him a speedy recovery. But unfortunately, he's not going to be able to suit up for the Islanders. At least I don't see him suiting up for the Islanders. I don't know what the media says. The media is the media, so the media is the media. But from my perspective and from what I'm hearing, I don't see him, coming back to the New York Islanders at all this season. And that's gonna hurt the Islanders. If that is the case, that's gonna hurt for them because he is a top 6 player for the New York Islanders. He is one who contributes on the offense, takes key roles, sets up good plays. So that's gonna hurt the Islanders if that is the case, if he's gonna be out for the remaining of the 2025-26 season. Before the injury, he had 18 points in 25 games played this season, 6 goals, 12 assists for 18 points in 25 games played this season. And this injury also ended a personal streak of his playing 223 consecutive NHL games, underscoring how durable he's been up until now. So that is a personal streak ended for Kyle Palmieri. But overall thoughts on this one, I don't know. It hurts for the Islanders. It hurts for the Islanders because they are missing a key player out of their lineup. It is going to be hard to maneuver between players, which players would, fill in the gap for Kyle Palmieri's role and his role on the New York Islanders. It's going to be hard to determine which player will fill in that gap, which player is going to be stepping up more. Maybe it'll be Matthew Barzal or Bo Horvat. I don't know how Patrick Roy is going to rotate these lines and, see how it would be for the Islanders. Maybe someone will have to be called up from the AHL, from the Islanders AHL team, the Bridgeport Islanders, and we'll see how everything goes. But I don't see him. I don't see Kyle Palmieri returning at all this season. Like I said, I don't know if that's the case or not. At least from what I'm hearing. I don't see him returning at all for the remainder of the 2025-26 season. Because we're now in December, guys. We're now in December. The season, of course, ends in April. So that'll be January, February, March, April. So that'll be like 4 months. And then you got the playoffs, which we don't know if the Islanders are going to be a playoff team or not. So that will have to also play into the case. So I don't see him return at all at this point of the season. So season ends in April. We don't know if the Islanders are going to be a playoff team. It's going to be out 6 to 8 months. So, no, sorry. Sorry if you're an Islanders fan. But no, we don't see Kyle Palmieri returning at all this season. But I would like to know you guys' thoughts on that. How do you guys feel about the Kyle Palmieri injury? Especially if you're an Islanders fan. If you're an Islanders fan, let me know down in the comments. How do you feel about the Kyle Palmieri injury? How do you think this will affect the Islanders? Where do you see the Islanders going forward? You guys watch the Islanders more than I do. So how do you feel about the injury? So I just want to get you guys' thoughts. If you're an Islanders fan, if you have a comment on that, don't be afraid to say it. Put it down in the comments. You can fully agree with what I had to say about it. You can fully disagree with what I had to say about it. Just let me know down in the comments. Let me see what you guys have to say about it. But still staying with in the New York area, still staying in the New York area, we got to talk about Adam Fox's injury for the New York Rangers. So the Rangers had put defenseman Adam Fox on long-term injury reserve. He was injured during the Rangers' 4-1 loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning on Saturday. He was checked into the boards by Tampa Bay Lightning forward Brandon Hagel. He left the ice with 12 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in the third period and visibly holding his left arm, shoulder, and did not return. The injury was classified as an upper body injury, and on Sunday, the Rangers have placed him on long-term injury reserve, which under league rules means a player will have to miss at least 10 games and 24 days. So this is a week-to-week injury for Adam Fox. Before the injury, Adam Fox had a strong start to the season. He had 26 points in 27 games this season, 3 goals, 23 assists for 26 points in 27 games this season. He was averaging about 23 minutes and 50 seconds of ice time per night, underscoring his importance to the Rangers' defensive group and lineup and power play unit as well, because he's had some great ice time. He's had some great shifts during the power play. So he is a top-tier defenseman for the New York Rangers, and he's won the Norris Trophy before. He's one of the best defensemen in the league to watch. He's a top defenseman for the New York Rangers, and him being out for the Rangers is a major blow for the Rangers lineup. And like I said, not only is he a top defenseman for the New York Rangers, he's also a key player on the Rangers power play unit. He quarterbacks the power play unit for the Rangers. So yeah, that is tough for the New York Rangers. And bigger news to add on to that, we don't know if he's going to be playing for Team USA come the Olympics in 2026 in Milan, Italy. So that's even more bigger news for him being out week to week. But my guess would be we'll have to see how he feels after Christmas. Maybe after Christmas, we will have to see how he feels, if he's cleared by then. If he's cleared by then after Christmas, we'll have to see. Because like I said, this is week to week. This is week to week for Adam Fox. So my guess will be after Christmas, we'll see where Adam Fox is at, if he's still going to participate in the 2026 Olympics for Team USA, if he is selected. And I have no doubt in mind that if he's cleared from his injury, he'll be selected for Team USA. But we'll just have to see how he feels or how is he by Christmas. But Rangers fans, let me know your thoughts on this one. I would like to engage. I know I say this a lot to you guys. Let me know your thoughts on this. That's because I like to try and engage with you guys some more on the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. So if you have any hockey thought or some type of discussion, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know how you feel about the Adam Fox injury, which I can imagine you guys feeling devastated about this, since, again, Adam Fox is your top defenseman on the team, one of the best defensemen in the league. I believe he's a Norris Trophy winner. So it really does hurt to see Adam Fox be out for this long for the New York Rangers. But going on to the Anaheim Ducks and Chicago Blackhawks game. So the Chicago Blackhawks scored 5 unanswered goals to win 5-3 against the Anaheim Ducks on Sunday. They end their 5-game losing skid, and they get the W in their black alternate jerseys. Let's go. And yes, I am very loud. As you guys all know, or should know by now, I am a huge Chicago Blackhawks fan. And I do write for Blackhawk Up, Fansided's Blackhawk Up page. And I've been a Chicago Blackhawks fan for a long time. I grew up watching the Blackhawks. I grew up going to the games at the United Center, especially during the Kane and Taves era. And now, obviously, the Connor Bedard era. So, but as a kid, I loved the Chicago Blackhawks. I still love them now. And I want to see them doing well in this rebuild. And they are doing well in this rebuild. We were on a little bit of a losing skid right there, but we snapped it with a comeback win over Leo Carlson and the Anaheim Ducks. And we moved to 11-9-5 of the season. Fun fact, this marked the Blackhawks' first win after falling behind by 3 goals in a game since March 23rd of 2024. And the Blackhawks get the win in their black jerseys. It is the return of the black alternate jerseys, by the way. I did talk about this on Blackhawk Up. These were jerseys that they wore in the 1990s and the early 2000s. Of course, you saw stars like Eric Days, who was on the pregame show when the Blackhawks took on the Predators last Friday, the day that they debuted these jerseys this season. Eric Days wore them, Chris Chelios wore them, Tony Amont wore them, Dennis Savard wore them. This is part of the Blackhawks centennial season this year. That's why they brought back the black alternate jerseys. So, yeah. And Connor Bedard, 4-point night for Connor Bedard. Bessie turned this game around for sure for the Chicago Blackhawks. He scored twice in the third period, including that highlight reel, go-ahead goal, a little deke pass. He deked out goaltender Billy Husso because Peter Mrazek did have to lead this game. Former Chicago Blackhawks goaltender, by the way. He deked out Billy Husso for a highlight reel NHL goal, put the Blackhawks ahead at 9 minutes and 55 seconds into the third period to spark the Blackhawks comeback win from a 3-0 deficit. And then he had an empty net goal to seal the deal for the 5-3 final. And in addition to his 2 goals, he had 2 assists for a 4-point night. One of the assists being on a beautiful pass to Ryan Green in the second period. That one was on Peter Mrazek, by the way. Peter Mrazek was in net when Connor Bedard fed a one-time pass to Ryan Green. Beautiful pass from Connor Bedard. And then, like I said, having a 4-point night in general. From what I know, this is his second or third 4-point night this season. I know he had a 4-point night performance in Calgary in November. So, yeah, Connor Bedard just continues to light up the score sheet. He is one of the top 5 point scorers in the NHL right now. So the future is now, people. And the Blackhawks are going to be doing well. I know that they're going to be in the playoffs. Probably not this year. At least not this year. Hopefully this year, though, because the Blackhawks are doing well. They are doing well. They are in a good spot. They're doing well. So maybe it will be this year. But if it's not this year, then maybe 2028, 2027, they'll be in a playoff spot because they want to win now. And they are winning now. At least they're looking to win more consecutive games now after, snapping their 5-game losing skid. And then the other Blackhawks that scored this one, Tyler Bertuzzi, Ryan Green, and Colton Dach also scored goals for Chicago. Their goals helped Chicago tie the game and sparked the Blackhawks comeback win in this one as well. So they were also key factors in that. And Spencer Knight, what a night he had. No pun intended. Well, this wasn't really a night. This was technically an afternoon game. This was a 2:30 p.m. puck drop. So I shouldn't even say that. But I wanted to make a joke out of it, though. So that's why I said it. But Spencer Knight, he made 23 saves on 26 shots faced in net in this one. And the Blackhawks special teams also helped out as well. They scored 2 power play goals. They were 2 for 4 on the power play, and they were perfect 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. So that really helped them out in this win as well. For the Anaheim Ducks, they jumped out to a early lead. They scored 3 goals in the first period early, including 2 within the first 47 seconds. The fastest 2-goal start in team history, by the way. Cody Gauthier gave Anaheim the lead 15 seconds into the game. Then 32 seconds later, Owen Zellweger scored to make it 2-0. And then the veteran Chris Kreider added another goal for the Ducks at 10 minutes and 25 seconds of the first period on deflection to make it 3-0. They wouldn't hold the lead for long, though, because the Blackhawks came back and tied the game. Anaheim did have a 4-3 lead, though, but the goal was called back due to offside, so I was really happy to see that, especially with the referees, especially with us being on the wrong side of the call. So I was happy to see that they were able to make one good call, at least one good call for the Blackhawks, though. So, because, like I said, if you've been watching Chicago Blackhawks hockey, you will know that we've been on the wrong side of calls of late. So, yeah, it was good to see us get a win, especially it was good to see us, at least when Jeff Blashill, the Blackhawks challenged that goal for offside, it was good to see us get rewarded right there. So, yeah. Peter Mrazek, former Chicago Blackhawks goaltender, made 13 saves on 16 shots faced in net for the Ducks before leaving the game with an apparent injury. So, while reaching for the puck, while trying to play the puck, so Billy Husso, who had to come in. To be honest, I forgot he was on the Ducks. I didn't even know he was on the Ducks. I thought he was still on the Red Wings, or at least the Blues. But I kind of forgot that he was, on the Anaheim Ducks. But he made one save relief. He gave up that highlight reel goal to Connor Bedard, a little deke and stuff. Connor Bedard, best hands in the NHL. No question about it. And that is a highlight reel goal right there. That should be the goal of the year right there. But with the loss for the Ducks, they fall to 15-9-1 of the season. Still in a good spot, though. The first place in the Pacific Division. So Joe Quenneville really turned that team around. We missed Coach Q in Chicago. And speaking of Chicago, I didn't mean to hit the desk. But speaking of Chicago, trying to stay warm because it is freezing outside. It's freezing outside. So trying to stay warm in this Chicago weather. And it did snow, I think, this past weekend, I believe. It did snow, so just trying to stay warm in Chicago. So that's all I can say. Because it is December, freezing, really freezing outside. And then one thing I saw after the game between the Blackhawks and Ducks, Connor Bedard and Mason McTavish were getting into it at the scrum at the end of the game. So they are friends in real life, though. Connor Bedard spoke about that after the game. So, but I did see them getting into it. So both of them, obviously competitive players. Both of them want to win. Both of them on young teams. They are friends in real life, though. And like I said, he spoke about that after the game. But both of them obviously want to win. They want to win. They were actually roommates at one point in Vancouver. I think Connor Bedard mentioned that. And they were also teammates at the 2022 World Juniors for Team Canada. They were roommates they played on the same World Juniors team for Team Canada 2022 World Juniors, and they won the World Juniors that year in 2022. So, yeah, but it was great to see them go at it. Just a little friendly fire right there. But that had drew an even bigger scrum, I should say, at the end of the game as well. Anaheim Ducks complete a back-to-back set against the St. Louis Blues on Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Chicago Blackhawks start a 4-game road trip against the VGK Vegas Golden Knights Tuesday at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time. That game will air on Hulu and ESPN Plus for you to watch. Moving on to the Hurricanes and Flames game. Brandon Bussi makes 15 saves in the Hurricanes' 1-0 overtime win over the Calgary Flames on Sunday. First NHL shutout for Brandon Bussi. This is his 8th career NHL game. And the shutout came in back-to-back starts for the first. This is the first time that he's done that in his NHL career. And the Hurricanes moved to 16-7-2 of the season. Nikolai Ehlers with the long goal in this one. Overtime game-winning goal in this one. He scored at 2 minutes and 52 seconds of overtime, crashed to the net, and finishing a given goal after a pass from Taylor Hall. Scored for the overtime game winner, scored past Devin Cooley. Sean Walker had the other assist on the goal. And for the Flames, Devin Cooley, he made 16 saves on 17 shots faced in net. And it was tight goaltending this one. Brandon Bussi, Devin Cooley put on a great performance in this one. It was also a low scoring, low shot affair. Both teams struggled to generate offense in this game, but the Hurricanes would come through to win the game in overtime. And throughout regulation, both teams managed just 15 shots on goal apiece, well below their season averages, by the way. And this game also featured few scoring threats as well. Several third-period chances by Carolina, of course, were turned away, and the Flames couldn't convert on their looks either. Neither team scored on the power play, so penalty kill was good for both teams. Both of them, I believe, had one power play opportunity during the game, but they couldn't generate on that. But with the loss, Calgary falls to 9-14-4 of the season. They are 4-1-1 in their past 6 games, though, so that's good for them. But overall, though, not a good record, 9-14-4 of the season. The Flames wrap up their 5-game road trip in Nashville against the Predators Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. The Gavin McKenna Bowl. The only reason why I call it the Gavin McKenna Bowl, because I can see either Calgary or Nashville, maybe even St. Louis. Hopefully not St. Louis, though. But I could see maybe the Blues getting Gavin McKenna. But it could either be the Flames or the Predators. The Flames or the Predators, top 2 teams that could be on the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes. But St. Louis could be in the mix too. So, yeah. The Hurricanes continue their long 7-game homestand against the Toronto Maple Leafs on Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Well, now moving on to the final game of Sunday, Stars and Senators. Wyatt Johnson, he notches a hat trick in the Stars' 6-1 win over the Senators on Sunday. He also had an assist for a 4-point night. First hat trick of the season for him and 4th of his NHL career. And Dallas moves to 17-5-4 of the season. They won 4 in a row. They're 5-0-1 in their past 6 games. 2 of Wyatt Johnson's goals came on the power play, by the way, which gave him a NHL best 12 power play goals this season. Jason Robinson and Mikko Rantanen had multi-point performances. Jason Robinson had a goal, 2 assists for a 3-point night in his 400th career NHL game. Mikko Rantanen, the Moose, he dished out 3 assists for a 3-point night. Roope Hintz had 2 assists in this game, showing the Stars' depth in creating offense. Maverick Boyd had a goal in this game for Dallas, while Casey DeSmith made 15 saves on 16 shots faced the net. He improved his record to 6-0-2 this season. And for the Senators, Jake Sanderson scored the long goal for Ottawa, his 5th goal of the season, coming 8 minutes and 36 seconds into the second period, tied the game up at 1. And after that, Dallas scored the other 5 goals to win the game. Maverick Boyd got the first goal of the game to make it 1-0 Dallas. Then Jake Sanderson tied up the game, and then Dallas went on to score 5 unanswered goals to win 6-1. Linus Ullmark made 20 saves on 26 shots, faced the net, and the Senators, they lost 2 straight games. And, lost 2 straight games. They will wrap up their 7-game road trip against the Canadiens Tuesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. They're 2-3-1 so far during the 7-game road trip. And the Stars head to Madison Square Garden to take on the Rangers Tuesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. All right, take a look at the NHL games on the slate. There's only 5 NHL games on the slate for today, starting with the CBJ Columbus Blue Jackets taking on the New Jersey Devils at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time, followed by the Battle of Pennsylvania between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. That game will air on NHL Network for you guys to watch. And then Monday Night Prime hockey between the Winnipeg Jets and the Buffalo Sabres at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. This will be on Amazon Prime to my fellow Canadians up north. So only the Canadians will get to watch this on Amazon Prime. And then we got the Anaheim Ducks taking on the St. Louis Blues at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. So back-to-back set for the Ducks because they played in Chicago yesterday. A 5-3 loss for the Ducks to the Blackhawks in Chicago. And then we got the Utah Mammoth taking on the San Jose Sharks at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time. So that'll be a late game out in the Bay Area, San Jose, California. Mammoth and Sharks, 9 p.m. Central Time. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. We are with you guys every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11:30 a.m. to noon Central Time, 12:30 p.m., 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure to hit that like, subscribe button on YouTube. Make sure to follow the Hockey Talk with TG podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Really helps me out in growing the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. Make sure to share each and one of these episodes as well of the Hockey Talk TG podcast. So if you have family or friends that haven't heard or listened or watched the Hockey Talk TG podcast before, you can share this episode with them, share the podcast with them so they can come and tune in to the episodes of the Hockey Talk TG podcast. So whether that's Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, doesn't matter. Make sure to share each and one of these episodes of the Hockey Talk TG podcast with them. Both of you guys have a great rest of your day. Keep God first as always. Be blessed. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for another episode of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. Take care.